Regina, who do you believe in?
The year was 2018. Just kidding. But yes, the year was 2018. Had been in college for 2 months, and the rhythm of going to church every Sunday was instilled in me, and it was something that I wasn't experiencing in those first few months of college. So I was like looking for community wherever I went, and I found a Bible study. And long story short, I connected well with some members there, and I was still connected with some mentors back at home in my home church. And I just remember, I don't know exactly how the conversation came up, but me being hard-hearted towards God, I felt such a heavy conviction about that. And one weekend when I think it was a hurricane that was happening on campus or near campus. So they were like, oh, if y'all want to go home, go ahead. I live in DC. I was 2 hours away from campus. So I went home and I sat in my room, cried out to God and was like, I don't want a hard heart no more. Like, you got to soften me. You got to do it. Boo-hooing, tears running down. So my story is one of those where I got saved in my room by myself. Yeah, that was my come to Jesus moment. For real. A long time coming? In a way, yes. Just because I grew up in the church and always had mental knowledge of God, but didn't really know Him enough to love Him and live for Him for real. So, yeah, when I got away from everything I knew and it was just me and God, then He dealt with me. Ironically, also through people that I knew. So, I don't know. He kind of ate that up, but yeah. Because I grew up in church, I was baptized when I was like 4 years old. So I didn't really have like a strong desire to be baptized, even though I wanted to be, but it wasn't like I need to go be dipped in the water because I was already baptized. But my actual baptism ceremony didn't happen till 2020 because I wanted to get baptized before coming to seminary. So, yeah, it was kind of like how Jesus was baptized before he started his public ministry. That's what I wanted to do. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm about to go to seminary. Yeah, I think I'll be dipped under that water. And yeah, that's what I did. Oh, growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer, and that was the plan. I've been told by numerous people, especially my father, that I like to argue, so I need to go to law school. So that was always on my radar. But for some reason, I mean, I know the reasons now, but at the time I was just like, I don't have any passion. I don't have any desire to be in law school. It's one of those things I would do well and I would do great, but I'd be settling because I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here. So I dropped the idea of law school junior year of college and went on a fast during that summer to ask God, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? During a part of that time was I realized how much one of my classes from that previous semester had rocked my world. It was called Politics of Social Welfare. And I learned so much about the welfare system in America, what it means to be on welfare, and, just the political landscape of it. And I was just like, wow, this is great. So I think that coupled with my YouTube searches, I found this Black lady who was a social worker on YouTube. She made blogs and gave advice about being a social worker. And it just clicked. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to do this. And then I was like, wait, but I really love theology. So I looked for programs that offered both theology and social work. And I had a very strong desire to be in Georgia. I think God put that desire in my heart. So it was like a magnet. Like I felt like I needed to be here. So I just looked at schools and programs here. Not all secular music is profane. So when I first got saved, I felt heavy conviction about listening to any and all secular music. It would be stuff, even like Disney Channel. I think even Disney Channel songs, I was like, let's not. Only about God. Anything, everything, only about God. But then I started to grow more in my faith and relax from that newborn zealousness. So I grew to come back into some secular music and just I would hear certain stuff and still be like, "Ugh, but I don't want to hear that." So just having that discernment of what's blasphemous to God versus what's just a worldly song. And so like stuff that's about sex, drugs, gangbanging, violence, anything just that's offensive to God's heart, I'm cool on. But if it's just a nice song with a nice bop, okay, like I'll listen to it.
What about your perspective on marijuana usage?
It's so interesting that you're asking me that. I used to be in the camp of no marijuana at all. Don't smoke it, don't inhale it, don't pop pills, nothing, don't do nothing. Whatever form you take it, don't do it. But then I started to question, why do we not have that same energy for alcohol, right? So when it comes to alcohol, a lot of Christians will say, yeah, I drink, but I don't get drunk. So in that same sense with marijuana or any other substance, is the issue the substance itself, or is it the lack of sobriety? Is it that you're taking a substance and it's altering your function, it's altering your behavior, your mood in a way that is offensive to what God would want, or not what God would want, which is self control, for you to be in control of your faculties, knowing what you're saying, all that, and taking care of your body, right? So, yeah, I think me personally, I'm good on marijuana, but it just didn't feel right for me to say, don't look at marijuana, or for me to say, I'm not looking at marijuana because it'll get you high, versus I'm not going to look at alcohol because it'll get you drunk. When I know that I have a limit to alcohol, so I assume there would also be limits to marijuana where you get high. And there are medicinal properties to it for a lot of people who are chronically sick. And I will say the way that you take it, that's more my issue. Like smoking, any type of smoking, put it down. That's not what your lungs are made for. Your lungs are made for oxygen. Yeah. So
Poison regardless.
your liver is on fire either way. But let's say you have whatever chronic illness, and a drop of CBD oil or marijuana will help you to put on your food and to relieve pain. Okay? We do that with other drugs. Like, we do realize that, right? Fentanyl is used in a controlled way in hospital. Methamphetamines used in a controlled way for medical purposes. But it's when you abuse it or you get high, you get drunk. That's the issue. I think we're distracted. I know I have wisdom, knowledge, discernment, and prophetic, depending on who you ask and what your understanding of the prophetic is. But mostly the ones that would come up would be wisdom. I've literally had pastors, teachers, young Christians, old Christians, and I don't mean like physical age, but like how long they've been serving Christ. Like whether they've been serving Christ for a year or 20 years, they have sought me for wisdom. And it'd be one of those things where they'd give me the issue or bring whatever to my attention, and then God would just give me a word about it, and then I'd say it, and that's it. And sometimes I'll forget it because I'm literally just speaking in that moment on God's behalf. So, and if you think of prophecy in that way, that's technically one of the definitions of prophesying. So, yeah, speaking on God's behalf.